You know, I think I'm officially a Trump supporter now. Not because I like his policies, but because the people who voted for Donald Trump are getting what they thought other people were going to get. So I'm all for that. Instant karma, I think they call it online, right? So here's what's happening. People's medical bills are going to be rising, their expenses and all that, because they want to get rid of Obamacare. They've been wanting to get rid of Obamacare. That's why they got mad at John McCain when he did the famous thumbs down. Guess what else? Apparently, Ronald Reagan, when he was saying that welfare, the welfare payments were going to people who they called at the time welfare queens, aka black women. But I guess it ain't just black women. I guess they found out that it's more than just black people on welfare. And actually, the majority of people on what they call the SNAP benefits, which is welfare, are white people. So, and white people who voted for Trump. So, yes, I'm totally in support of his policies. Not because I like them, but because they're backfiring on all the people who voted because they thought that the treatment they're getting now, they were going to issue to other people. They didn't include themselves in the pain and heartache that they were voting for. And best believe, although people are gullible, people are also mindful of not only the way they vote, but the way that they support policies that hurt and harm other people. And is it sad that a lot of immigrants are being ripped from their families? Absolutely. But at the same time, you can't say that that you shouldn't do that, but then also let people run into your business and shoplift all day. In my last video, there were a couple of comments that said, you're bringing up, shoplifting, and they couldn't understand why I brought it up, so I had to explain to them what an analogy was. So what I'm saying is, if you prosecute people who shoplift, that's a low-level crime. In the same way that you would think that immigration is a relatively, low-level crime, yet you're throwing those people in jail, the shoplifters. You should also throw the illegal people who are taking up space here when they shouldn't be. You should throw them in jail too. I mean, Republicans and, people in general say, that we are a nation of laws and laws should be obeyed. If you don't have laws and you don't have people to obey the laws and hold people accountable for those laws, you're going to have absolute chaos. But that being said, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're going to arrest a shoplifter, then you got to arrest the person here illegally. Whether you want to call them aliens or whatever you want to call them, they're illegal. You don't have papers to be here. You didn't follow, what they told you to do. I'm still in the trucking industry, just I'm not driving a truck anymore, although I'm in a truck. But they require people to speak English. I was having a conversation with my brother. My brother is in the trucking industry, but he's looking to switch jobs. He was looking at a job where it said Punjab only, and I had to explain. And he was trying to say that that was somehow the R word, the R word, the bigotry, right? I had to explain to him that no, it isn't in that particular case, because Punjab is a language. And if you want that job and they require you to speak Punjab, how is that the R word? How is that any type of bigotry? They require you to speak that because there are a lot of truck drivers who only speak that. Now, I mean, that's kind of like a catch-22 kind of, but like you're not really allowed to drive a truck if you only speak Punjab because you need to pass the English test when they give it to you. However, this particular job only wants people, or the requirement is to speak Punjab. I mean, you can set whatever requirements or prerequisites to get in a job. What you could do, you could say. I mean, in terms of gender and all that, all the the legal stuff. But I mean, if you like for example, you could say that you could replace Punjab with Spanish. You need a Spanish speaker. If you need to be bilingual. Now they said Punjab specifically, but I'm sure if you spoke something else, they wouldn't mind as long as you know how to speak Punjab. But what I had to explain to him is that you could replace that with anything. You could replace that with English. You could replace that with Spanish. You could replace that with anything, German, whatever, right? It's a requirement. Just like you could replace it with having a license, having a CDL, having experience in the trucking industry, having 2 years of experience. It's just a requirement to be able to speak a particular language. Now, if you really want that job, what do? Do you go and cry about how it's they're bigoted people who's trying to only hire that particular type of person? Or could you run out and go learn how to speak Punjab, or run out and speak English? Like I said in a past video, I probably need to run out and learn how to speak Spanish. Somebody else who's also in this industry told me, hey, if you're going to be successful in this industry, you need to know how to speak Spanish. I'm not required, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to attempt to learn how to speak Spanish because it's going to help me, help me in my endeavors, especially this one. So that being said, look, if you're required to speak English to drive a truck, then you need to go out and speak English. If you need to speak Punjab to get a job, then you need to go out and, do that. But I support what Donald Trump is doing. Again, I don't support his policies. Most of them I don't. But the only reason why I'm supportive at this point is because the people that voted for him, a vast majority of them voted against their own interest to cause pain to people who they didn't think were themselves, right? So, they wanted to inflict pain on other people with their vote, but they wasn't expecting it to be on them, But guess what? America, we made our bed. I didn't vote for Donald Trump, but I support everything he's doing right now. Maybe not everything, but the thing that's the things that he are doing to the American people right now, who are affecting or who are being affected in a negative way, I support that, because you're getting what they call your comeuppance. You're getting that. The chickens are coming home to roost. Whatever what is it, cliche? Whatever cliche you want to use. I support all of that, right? Because it's crazy. Like you wanted to hurt other people with the vote, because you may or may not felt like somebody who was of African American heritage was not suitable for the job. I mean, that came from a lot of blacks too. Kamala Harris didn't get 100% of the black vote, and some of those people said that she wasn't necessarily black enough. She had too much Indian, she had too much Asian, whatever she had. But they said the same thing about Barack Obama, and those same people who said he wasn't black enough, as soon as he won the presidency, now you want him to do something for black people. I mean, make up your mind. I mean, people aren't loyal, and people jump on bandwagons all the time, and, it is what it is. But again, I'm officially a Trump supporter. I enjoy this, because you put it on yourself. I didn't vote for this. I'm not really affected that much, other than gas prices and grocery prices and everything that's going up. Yeah, I'm affected in that way, but my job's not being affected. I didn't really have a substantial health care plan in the first place. What else? I'm not on SNAP. All these people that's on these programs voted for Donald Trump, which is the absolute opposite of what they should have done, because Donald Trump is absolutely destroying the people that vote for him. So I'm all for it, because y'all getting what y'all deserve, because y'all want that on other people, and now y'all getting it. Y'all seeing it firsthand. So if you click on the video that's on the screen now, you can see what I said and why people are saying what they're saying. Go check it out. Meanwhile, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Take care.